I tried to make this Ace Bailey video a little while ago, but the footage got totally corrupted, so we're doing it again. But this time with a game that I have not watched before. We are using a cut up from YouTube channel Kashigi, who I've shouted out a ton. Go check him out. Link's going to be in the description. We're just going to react to this Ace Bailey game, split up into first watching his shots, and then his passes, and then his defense, and just give my reactions and kind of scout it live. So let's get into it. Ace is a really interesting prospect to me. Someone who I'm a little bit lower on the consensus. Tough fadeaway here. He loves taking difficult jumpers, and nice job grabbing the offensive board and taking another tough fadeaway. This is a common thing for young players at this high school level who are really talented to take a lot of tough jumpers. I would say Ace does it probably more than most, but he definitely has some really, really impressive tough shot making flashes, which I'm sure we'll see at some point in this game. Like right there. It is rare for a 6'8", 6'9" guy to be able to snatch back like this. Really nice job evading the dig here. Snatch back, step back, beautiful jumper. Would love that to be a 3, but regardless, it's a really nice looking shot. Deep pull-up three-point attempt, and I'm really not sure what to make of Ace's shot just yet. The volume is huge, which I value, but I wonder if that's because he's actually a great shooter or because he played on a pretty bad high school team where he was the only real NBA talent and had the most insane green light of all time, which I don't really know. Great little finish there in transition. But in terms of like tough shot making, Ace is awesome, and he gets off the floor pretty quickly. I don't think he's like an incredible athlete, but great kind of cut here. This is a really nice pass by his teammate, actually. Number 1 here. I think, is that Jay Nash? One of his teammates is Jay Nash. But gets up, catches the ball, dunks it. These are the kind of plays where it's hard to evaluate in this setting because, like, Ace is the tallest player on the floor in most of these games. That's obviously not going to be the case at the college level and, of course, the NBA level. So a lot of this tape where he's just, easily grabbing offensive rebounds, putting shots up, I'm unsure of how it's going to translate pretty much. Ace here. Really nice hop step, but again, we see him just kind of being taller than everyone else. And one of my issues with Ace is that I don't think he's an amazing advantage creator. Bailey is really great at shooting over people, and he's really fluid and smooth, but I don't know if he has that suddenness and twitch to really get separation against pro-level athletes, and maybe we'll see a little bit of that. Great offensive rebounding game. His motor looks awesome, which, of course, waxes and wane. They're just catch dunk there. Motor goes up and down for Ace, as well as most young high stars. It's rare for elite high school stars to always be playing with consistent motor, and I love him just like winning as a cutter in this game because it's not something that he always does, but Ace can be really deadly as a cutter because he is so fast and fluid and tall and long, especially at this level. Really good job getting up and making plays. Ace isolating, pulling up for 3, beautiful. That is probably like around the college line or maybe just a little inside the college line. I would definitely, the deeper the better, but rare skill set here. 6'8", 6'9", smoothly crossing and setting up into a pull-up three-point attempt. It was wide open. He wasn't really contested, but regardless, his contested shot making is pretty impressive. But this is an example of a play where I think the advantage creation isn't that great, where Ace resorts to a pretty tough step-back fadeaway. Simple crossover, doesn't create much of separation at all, and instead of trying to continue the drive, he picks up the ball, takes a really difficult fadeaway. That's a shot that he can and will make, but I think, Ace isn't the best ball handler. The handle is a big weakness at this point. His strength and explosion aren't great, and I do think that's going to limit him against better athletes when he's not able to get off these tough jumpers basically whenever he wants. But when he can and when it goes in, it looks really, really good. Nice little, little inbounds play right here. Ace is just going to kind of hang in the air and finish. Really nice overall finishing game from Ace in this one. We're going to get him faced up in the post. This is kind of his favorite spot, just face where he can face the basket. He loves this triple threat where he can jab or drive or pass or mostly, step back and shoot these little fadeaways. Again, not my favorite decision in the world, but I think the context here is really important, where a lot of times an ace contested jumper might be better than an open shot from a lower level player in terms of efficiency. And we also don't know what exactly he's being coached or coached not to do. So though I do have major kind of feel questions, but I don't think like the tough shots are all bad, or I don't think we should fully dock players for taking tough shots. And man, I absolutely love this play. This is a deep movement three, at least beyond the college line here. This is the kind of stuff that makes me more optimistic about Ace as a shooter. Kind of like looks like he kind of trying to set a screen for him, but again, catches from range, off basic movement, smooth into a three. That's the kind of stuff that I think is really positive for his shooting projection. Another beautiful fade there. But we're going to kind of see that Ace isn't really a passer at this point. He has some flashes, but the vision and decision making to me are really inconsistent. Where he has probably a couple options that he could pass to here, but obviously he makes this amazing fadeaway jumper. So it works out in the end, but I definitely want to pay attention to the passing windows here, or I guess the passing windows that Ace doesn't choose. Spin move, he probably has number 3 wide open, could probably hit number 30 here because number 14 isn't really paying attention, instead just goes for the tough fadeaway. So again, the question I ask myself is this a decision-making issue? Does Ace know that these options exist and he's just not taking them? Or is it a vision, passing skill, processing issue where Ace does not realize or does not recognize on the fly that he has those passing outlets? And I think depending on the answer to that question really changes things for him, and how he goes about improving and working on development and all that good stuff. Looks like we're going to be about done with the scoring clips in this cut up. Once again, huge shout out to Cash Iggy for making my life and the life of other content creators easy with these kind of cut ups. But let's get into his passing and turnovers now. And yeah, Ace is going to lose the ball right here. As I talked about, his handle isn't great. I do think ball control isn't super hard to improve. Like, a lot of players get better at basic ball control, but part of my issue with Ace is that I think he needs to have a really great handle to succeed as a creator because he's not super explosive or strong. So improving that ball control, picking his spots better as a handler, going to be definitely a big improvement point here. As Ace, let's watch this play again. Gets downhill in early offense. I mean, like, the spacing here is so bad. I have no idea what these three guys are doing. There wasn't really anything. I mean, I think that's a good kick out, right? He sees the help, kicks it out. He probably, again, playing with better teammates, playing with college or NBA level teammates, he probably generates an open look out of that type play, but at the high school level a lot of the time, and really nice skip pass right there. I think Ace is at his best passing from a standstill, when he doesn't have to be on the move, when he can read the floor, when he can see what's happening. Notices that this weak side defender is sunk way into the paint, and he can simply skip the ball over the top to his guy, who, again, ends up just kind of extra passing, but in the NBA and in college, there's a good chance that they get an open three off of that. Whew, another really nice pass from the post. This is a nice passing game so far, where Ace realizes that, once again, the Kel defense is shading really hard to cutters. They're not letting any of these players go, so Ace is simply going to wait for his man to sink to the corner and skip. Again, like I said, I think this is where Ace is best, which is passing from a stationary point, which I don't think is as valuable as passing on the move, just because it's harder to really generate value out of these isolation face-up plays, especially at higher levels. Kind of a weird turnover there. But Ace does have really nice vision. Good transition hit ahead there. Has nice flashes of vision and some skip passes and stuff that we've seen playing out of the post. And this is a great transition pass low. This is a really nice Ace passing game so far. I love this kind of fake pull-up into a laydown pass. And again, his teammate sells the assist there, which is, again, why assist numbers are not representative of passing quality, especially at the high school level, where this looks like a shot, right? And because Ace shoots pull-ups so often, he fools the defense. Everyone's staring at Ace and no one's paying attention to 30. That's great manipulation. Really excellent vision there. So if you're higher on Ace than I am, I would assume you bet on that passing to be more consistent, to improve. And I definitely understand that. I think it's possible. As another good drive here where, again, Ace isn't really able to create a clean advantage here, but he doesn't lose his handle. He holds the ball against a dig, and he finds his teammate on the laydown. That's a nice play. Actually, he draws they call it a charge. Is that really a charge? Is that really an offensive foul? That's a ridiculously bad call. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, regardless of the call, I give Ace props on this for making a pretty nice read off of his drive on the move, as we were talking about. It looks like we're gonna get another one here. Great passing game for Ace, as I was talking about. I love this type of play because Ace isn't the most decisive player. Like I said, he loves to take his time in triple threat, but he's really good when he quickly attacks off the catch, draws the help, and lays it down to his teammate. Like, so simple, and he's going to get another charge draw call here. This one was actually probably the right call. And I do think Ace, in terms of like deceleration and avoiding charges and just being smarter about picking driving angles, is going to be an improvement point. I think that's a component of feel and processing that concerns me because I think it's generally harder to develop. But good job seeing that read low and finding his teammate. I do, like I said, even though he technically turns the ball over, I do give Ace props for that because I think it's a valuable showcase of his vision and ability to find open teammates, especially on the move. So that was his passing. Let's get on to his defense, which is so hard and weird to evaluate it in the high school setting, especially like when you're the high usage creator. Ace doesn't really try that hard on defense, to be honest. Right here, he just like swipes at the ball, guy misses an open layup, but it's clear that he's not playing against like NBA high-level quality competition, which makes it make sense why he isn't necessarily playing with the most effort in the world. I think he kind of just like, I don't think Ace deflects this. I think he just kind of is in a good position to get the steal there. Yeah, he is. Ace looks like he's going to, again, be just like in a good position to get a steal. He does a lot of standing around on the defensive end, which is what it is. He has the theoretical tools to be a solid defender because he is fluid, tall, and has some good rim protection moments. And again, Ace kind of just like technique stuff, not moving his feet really quickly. You can see how he doesn't have a wide base. He gives up a top foot, really like choppy, closed off stance here, and then gives up an advantage, just kind of like swipes recklessly instead of trying to contest. But all of this like on-ball technique stuff I think is pretty fixable and generally can be coached. So I won't typically fret about guys who are just like really struggling to win on the ball, not because they're not quick laterally or they can't move, but because they're swiping or their feet are all over the place, because that's a fairly common thing to fix. Is good job by Ace here, I guess, staying down and not committing really hard because he could have passed there. But again, maybe you'd hope that Ace would make a bit more of a contest and get up, gonna seemingly grab a rebound here. Again, Ace is playing center on defense, and he's gonna get a really nice block here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful timing here, as great defense by his teammate to force a tough shot. Ace rotates. You can see he's not like, he does have to like bend his knees a good bit, like take two hard steps, get up, and it takes him time to get up sometimes. He's not the quickest off the floor, but there are some really nice weak side rim protection flashes. And again, I don't think Ace is going to be playing center ever on defense at the next level, but I think this is good experience for him regardless, because these same skills that Ace is using as a low man, really good job stepping up here and contesting this shot, forcing a pass down. Again, I think I blame his teammate here mostly for his teammates here for not covering the back line. These skills, low man stuff, shot blocking, timing, another really nice one here. Again, just pinning the ball off the window. I do think against better passers, right, better creators, it's going to be harder to get away with plays like this because he's leaving his guys open so much. But the showcases of weak side rim protection are nice. And when he translates to more of a wing 4 defender, which he probably will in college and at the pros, he can still use these same instincts and awareness skills to rotate down and impact plays like that. So I would say this has been a pretty solid Ace Bailey game overall. And I think I picked a good one because, to me, his flaws and his strengths were very on display. Again, like jumps for no reason, gets behind the play, able to contest with his length though, but small guard, unable to finish there. I do think we could see a lot of these strengths and weaknesses here. Again, Ace digs to get a steal, but the spacing is really bad, and he is kind of just standing around again. At the next level, maybe there's a better ball handler here who doesn't let him get a steal, or his man lifts and he passes right here to his man who gets a wide open 3. There is a ton of ball watching which is a common thing for young players, so I don't knock it too much. But Ace is a ball watcher, right? He will kind of stare at the ball on all these possessions, which isn't great, of course, but like I said, it's a pretty common thing for toolsy young players to do, just because they've been able to get away with that because of their tools. Nice, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to knock him for not closing out when there's 24 seconds left in the game, but that's this Ace Bailey game. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of format. If you want more of these videos are much quicker and easier for me to produce. Once again, shout out to Cash Iggy again. I think this was a good showcase of Ace's strengths and weaknesses, decision making and advantage creation concerns, but some awesome flashes of shot making and playmaking. So let me know what you think.